Check one, check two, check three.
Yeah, live at 5:30. All right.
Are we on here? Hey, Molly, can you hear us? That work?
I can hear you now. Thank
Okay,
you.
great. We are not able to get on the internet here at this point, so we're a little, yeah. We're a little messed up trying to get
Oh.
things working.
And I'm sorry I'm not there. Half my office is out with COVID, so I really didn't want to.
Ooh.
And half the people I work with aren't vaccinated, so.
It is 5:31. I'm going to call this meeting to order. My name is Susan Hingle. I'm the chair of the Monroe County Women's Commission. The commissions will serve in an advisory role to assist students or residents, businesses, and the government of Monroe County in addressing issues of gender equity in all aspects of society. The mission is to advance the status of women and marginalized genders in all areas of county life. Everyone, I hope, has seen the agenda for today. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for today? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? I'm going to do a roll call since Molly is on Zoom. Molly? Otto?
Here.
No, approve or not. Did you say approve?
Approve.
Julie
Yes.
Hardesty.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, approve.
Kathleen.
Approve.
Maria.
Approve.
Susan, approve. Motion passes. I'm not gonna do the minutes. Should I approve the minutes from last time?
Which minutes are we approving? Is this a work session and we're approving the minutes from the last work session, or are we approving the minutes from the last month's meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do we have those minutes?
From last meeting? Yes.
It's probably been a while since I've seen him. I'm gonna table it till next time.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not doing the photo today. Oh, first of all, we're all here. Molly is on Zoom. Just want to note that for the record. And then I want to talk about, oh shucks, I can't even do the orientation, pull that up. Philly, Nikki. Which one are you? Not just Kathleen. Anyway, so I want to talk about, so we know, I believe everybody knows that Nikki is not coming back. She sent that. She's not reapplying for her seat. And so we do have an empty vacancy. Currently, we have only two applications. I know when I ran into Tiana recently, she stated that she thought someone she knew applied, but she has not. I did talk to Commissioner Thomas and Dina, and names are not coming to me tonight. Angie, thank you. Thank you. About it. And so Commissioner Thomas said she'd look into it and get back to me. I haven't talked to either one of the people that applications are in recently. I do believe that one person is probably too busy. Jennifer. And then I haven't talked to the other applicant in a while since I switched positions. So, I mean, we still probably want to recruit some. But I don't know how we feel about that.
So were the commissioners going, what were they going to do with those applicants?
So she's gonna, I know Commissioner Thomas will look into them. And it obviously can't be till January when Nikki's, well, it could be now, right? I'll follow up with her.
Yeah, because they can start, so they can decide if one goes to council, all that business, like one goes to council, one goes to the commissioners, and then they need to interview them and appoint them.
Well, this is just a commissioner seat.
Oh, it is hers. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they need to interview and appoint.
Yes.
I'm not sure how it works with priority to applicants that are already in, but we did mention to Misty, if there was an opening on the commission that we would let her know.
I'm not sure either because I know, I know Liz had applied a long time ago, not that that matters. But, so I'm not sure if they just do it by, a conversation with me to see if I have a preference or if they just do it by, first come, first serve, to be honest, so.
Honestly, I would love it if they would interview all applicants that were in. And for me, it's about who has the capacity to do the work, right? Because if somebody just thinks that they're going to sit on a commission and not do much, and I don't mean that in a negative way, just, sometimes commissions are like that. They need to be briefed that, our commission is doing work and that there's, a considerable time commitment. And so that may weed out some of the applicants, but I think all applicants should be reviewed.
Yes. Which brings me to a good point. So as I thought about the vacancies, and Maria and I talked about this a little bit. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I want to think about all of our commitments as we go into this. I don't know if this is a good time, but it's on my mind, so I'm going to bring it up. So I just want to talk about what everybody's attendance has been like this year. And I just want to say that as we move in from, into a new year, this is what this is a part of, is what we're, review the year and what we want to do for next year and just the realistic expectations everybody wants to set for themselves. And as well as, the commitment to the commission. So Nikki doesn't matter. She missed 2 meetings. She was on Zoom once and missed 1. Molly was absent for 3, Zoom now twice. Kathleen was absent twice. Julie was absent once for November, I think, and 1 time on Zoom. Maria was 1 absence, 1 Zoom. Susan was 0. Tiana was absent May, June, and August, and Zoomed in October, November. It hasn't made it this evening. It technically is in the bylaws that if you miss 2 meetings, you can be asked to leave the commission. I don't want it to be that way, but I just want to think about if you're on the commission and taking up a seat of somebody that has more time. I'm not going to say because it's not that people are committed, but have the ability to commit the time to make this happen. I think I sent it out in an email, and we can go over this in the presentation, is how much time commitment, you should expect when we join the commission, right? So I just want to put that out there and put that as something to think about. And as we review the commission, the new commissioner orientation that Kathleen brought up that we should have, I want us all to think about that. So, and we can decide going forward if this is something we really want to enforce, because it is a bylaw. So, put it out there.
This might be part of the work session that we do on the orientation, but maybe it's worth also having them sign something that says like, I agree, or I understand that if
We
I,
all signed something.
we did. Is it possible I didn't? Or maybe I
Yes,
did.
yes, that's
Okay.
very possible.
Okay. Or it's possible I am forgetting that I did. Okay.
Anything's possible.
Okay.
Should I send this to TSD upstairs and have them put this on the screen? Or do we just want to talk about it?
No, I'd like to see it on the screen. And I just want to piggyback off of Susan and for me, the two misses, I would like to be enforced. For me, though, it is from a place of we are women, we are default parents, we are default a lot of things. You know, other countries have safety nets and the United States has women, right? So I know it's taken a long time for me in my 48 years of life to figure out what my capacity is and to figure out what I'm going to pay attention to, what I would love to pay attention to, but just simply cannot. I mean, I've literally made a list for myself of 5 things I pay attention to. And when I find myself like reading an article about something that's really interesting and could intersect, but is not on the list of 5, I force myself to close it. And because our capacity and our energy and, you know, whatever is very precious and few. So we have to be very, you know, make sure that we're taking care of ourselves first and that we're healthy, physically, and that includes mentally, and that we're honoring ourselves and our families and our other commitments and making sure that we're able to do what we choose to do 100%. So for me, it's for the health of the women that, you know, are around this table and for the women that are thinking about or are about joining, you know, to really, you know, look and see you know, if the capacities is there and if the Women's Commission and what the subcommittees and the projects that we have going on or that we may choose to do in 24 are in line with your personal mission and your personal focuses, so foci. So
I know I was thinking as I was reviewing and talking about, I mean, even for myself, I was thinking about another thing I'm involved with and, you know, an issue we're having there and, you know, how to help, you know, the chair of that situation, you know, bring people together. And I was like, oh, I got to think about this for myself and thinking about, you know, how much as the chair of this commission, how much is my responsibility for keeping us engaged? Is it, you know, and I think one of the things that I had this year for myself was thinking, we're all adults, right? I mean, that was my thing is we're all adults. We should hold ourselves accountable for our engagement, for, you know, the work that we do, but is it also my job to, you know, to motivate people during the month, you know, saying, hey, I put these things on the calendar and like just trying to figure out, you know, how much of this is my responsibility, you know, to keep us all engaged and motivated versus everybody coming. Because to me, I feel like, you know, and, you know, originally when I accepted this role, it was just because we needed someone to do it. I had no experience. I've gained, you know, whatever. And that we all as a team make this all happen, right? It's, you know, it's like thinking I created the calendar that we talked about and no one ever looked at it. You know what I mean? And it's like, so how much of my time do I want to spend doing something when nobody else is going to follow through, right? I'm sure, I mean, I can't speak for Julie, but if, like all the work that Julie did, you know, and thinking about, you know, how much, you know, because I know that I'm not happy with myself for the lack of commitment I went, you know, and the work that I put into that or didn't put into that. And so I just don't know. I don't know I think I need to come out of this meeting knowing how much we need from the chair. I want to say it's me going forward. or what we, and if it is being honest with ourselves with saying, no, I do need you, you know, weekly to send an email or check in with everybody or whatever. As the chair, like I would, you know, I would be willing to do that. It would keep me engaged. But I think that was my own misperception from the year that I've had so far about what my role is or what is needed from this role. I don't know if anybody's up there. Is anybody upstairs? Can I email you something to put on the screen? Soon as I,
Also, do you know why the internet isn't working? Because my phone is losing battery and that's how we're connected right now. Okay, thank you.
what email? No, but I will. Well, I can switch it to mine. I found my thing because I can plug in my phone.
For me, in response to what you said, Susan, I feel like, you know, when someone is in a leadership role, they lead how they lead how they lead. So, you know, at the top of the year, if we say, you know, if the chair wants to know what the committee expects or wants, as far as a leader goes, then, you know, I think that's fair. And I want to also say I don't think there's any shame in anybody saying they don't have the capacity for it, you know, just like Nikki did, you know, and we love her and we'll stay connected with her and welcome her back, you know, if and when she has capacity. But yeah, I think just, you know, personally, we need to look at our capacity and figure out what's healthy for us.
I can share.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about that, Susan?
No. There we go. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like, I mean, I appreciate you saying that about a leader, and I'm trying as the chair, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, I think for me, there are other, I mean, if we needed that, I would be willing to do things to help us stay engaged. But I don't know.
So am I hearing that what you are seeing from the last year is that we're not engaged enough, and the evidence of that is the meetings that were missed, the monthly meetings? Or
I definitely feel if I had to go by the standard engagement of a board member, which is 8 to 10 hours a month, I definitely am not spending 8 to 10 hours a month. I don't feel like a lot of people are spending 8 to 10 hours a month, considering a lot of people don't respond to emails or texts. So, I mean, that's what I think. So yes. So no, I don't think. I mean, if you had to think, oh, am I spending 2 hours a week on the Monroe County Women's Commission? No. And if I was spending 2 hours a week, and I think if everybody was spending those kind of hours, you know, 8 to 10 hours a month, I think we could do a lot more than what we've done. But I'm fine. Oh, I'm in there fine. I just have to focus for a second.
So,
Does anyone have any thoughts about anything?
So I apologize for being late. So I kind of missed the beginning of this discussion, but Susan, in response to the little part that I heard here in the last few minutes, I kind of hear two different things. Maybe frustration. One is the amount of engagement of members, but then also kind of response to communication. And in some ways, I think those two things could be separate. I don't know if that's how you're feeling, but I think we've lost her.
I'm trying to pull up, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Will you try? Yeah. And so I can listen, sorry.
Yeah, the way that I tend to approach committee work like this isn't necessarily how many hours per week or per month am I spending on this, but like what am I getting done?
I
So-
agree, it's quantity, not, or it's quality, not quantity. Right?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, and I
Yeah.
understand that.
And I think there are some things I wasn't necessarily expecting some of the things to get involved in that I got involved in. So, you know, the Gender Equity Justice Response Committee group thing that kind of came up and we kind of took off with it and did something with it. And that wasn't really necessarily an upfront goal for the year, but it happened.
Right.
At the same time, like the girls web design camp, we kept trying to move that forward and we've not been able to do that. And that's been a disappointment for me. I was wanting to see that happen this year and we didn't get it. So I'm hoping that we can make that happen next year. So it's still, to me, an important goal. So, you know, that's kind of how I view it. So I don't know. I mean, I think there were things that I wanted to do that I was not able to do, but then there were some things I wasn't expecting to do that I was actually able to participate in and you know, we did something. I don't know if it helped, but we did something.
So Susan, to what end are we having this conversation right now?
I don't know. I think at the end, as I'm listening or thinking, is it's, you know, if everyone's satisfied with what we've been doing and how, you know, and the capacity that we've been working in, then I won't say another thing.
I don't think that that's what we're saying.
No,
So I just want to know like what the action, do
The
we need to
action.
vote on something? Do we need to raise our right hand and say aye or so moved or something or
I don't know if we need it. I don't know so much better one time all set up, but I don't know what the next action is. I don't know. I think, actually what I think is as we go through the rest of this and in January, when we even, you know, maybe talk more about stuff, is thinking about, you know, like I was thinking about, you know, the February meeting that we had and like and everyone's, you know, like their passion, their interest and everything. And then thinking, thank you. What, you know, I think in the end, it's about when we move forward and we move forward through, you know, this orientation or goals for the year, if we want to set them, then thinking about being realistic in our expectations and our plan for the year. And I mean, I agree. We all had things, the jail thing came up, we pivoted, and that's what we should do. You know, we could all have big plans and then, you know, we take what comes in front of us and we drop something and we pick something else up. Great. You know, I like
see
that.
that's a misnomer because gender equity and justice reform was discussed
yeah,
at our work session
by
in
February we had that. I'm just thinking like when I started coming to the meetings in
Sure.
November, December, it wasn't quite, you know, it wasn't formed up.
So in our planning for 20, yes.
Yeah.
True. So in our planning though, for 2023, it was in our planning. It didn't, we were aware of it is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, let me get to this. Okay. I'm gonna pause for time and go. Do you want to pause? Let's go through this. Okay. So this is the the welcome and orientation that I made, after we had a discussion like with Kathleen about, as the commissioner, about what our goals and stuff should be for the year, or what you would like to know. You know, I just put in a welcome commissioner thing, about, the history, about public access, open door law, just essential information that I think would be very helpful. This is basic history, what our purpose is, or has a mission, the first, and a little bit blurb about the history of the Monroe County Women's Commission.
Is your mic on?
No. I'll get it together, sorry. But so I don't feel like there's much comment that's needed with these things. I just took them out of notes or whatever. Commission expectations, here's the one. Time commitment, be prepared to spend on average at a bare minimum 1 hour a week outside the monthly meeting. During this time, you should respond to emails or texts. Additional time could be spent at county commissioner meetings, subcommittee meetings, or other public events related to the Women's Commission. And again, I agree, it doesn't have to be, you know, like 1 hour, but I mean, just in that, I think if we were all realistic, right, it probably is 1 hour. I mean, you know, just as a guideline, because, you know, I attend the commissioners meetings, we all take turns doing that. We go to the Women's Commission, whatever, things like that. But just to set some kind of bar, so people walk in thinking, oh, this is what it should be. I mean, and to me, I do expect within a reasonable time, if one of us sends an email, you know, to be able to respond. Is it 6?
3 till Patty. Pat's is on time. Pat's is early. It's okay, go on.
Okay, so how do we feel about that?
No, I think it's great. I think expectation, you know, when people must know the expectations and are more likely to be successful because they know expectations.
Right. Speaker or subcommittees, you'll be expected to participate in at least one subcommittee. I think that seems realistic, right?
Mhm.
I mean, if there are multiple or
Right.
whatever. Speakers, you're expected to recruit at least 2 speakers a year or whatever we decide moving forward. You know, how we want to do this, if it's whatever. Public events, you'll be expected to attend 4 events per year. I consider that commissioners, well, we talk, you know, middle way events or other events out there in the community that are either related to your passion that you can bring back to us, or Indiana Commission, the Indiana Commission for Women events or whatever. I think that seems realistic.
I think this is definitely like something that's worth trying, because we haven't really had the expectations written out like that before. So I think it seems like this is reasonable for trying out, you know, and we can see what happens this year with these expectations in place. Yeah.
And I think,
Yeah.
you know, going forward, I mean, if it was a new commissioner coming in and they got this before maybe they even signed the paper, you know, you know, they could be like, yes, no, this is more than you know, because I don't get to talk to them necessarily before they get appointed.
And as we all know, except for maybe Nikki, you know, there was 0 onboarding.
Right.
0. So some is better than none.
Exactly.
And I think this
I
is.
had, yeah,
I
we
d-
had none, I don't think.
I'm sorry, Molly, what?
I was saying, I don't think we had any.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no.
I think these expectations are very realistic.
Okay. And before we, we're just gonna jump from whatever we need to whatever we need to right now. So I would like to make a suggestion that in the future, it doesn't have to be you or the chair or a designee of the chair. If we are seeing somebody, you know, we should be like no woman left behind, right? If we see somebody struggling or we feel like somebody's struggling, you know, let's just have a meeting, a one-to-one meeting with them and say, hey, sister, you doing okay? Like, what, you know, is there anything that we can help with? And blah, blah, blah. You know, just have that conversation. It doesn't have to, we don't have to, you know, act as a whole body all the time, especially pertaining to issues like that, you know?
Kind of going off that, I kind of like, I'm gonna throw this out there. It could be that when new members come in, we're adding that to the agenda, so we can be going over these slides as a group and onboarding them, and also to reinforce it for ourselves, like, oh yeah, I did commit to this, because seeing it once, you know, doesn't really make it stick. So I think it could be an exercise for the group that we are onboarding a person and also kind of recommitting ourselves each time to the expectations.
I like that. Okay, Patty just joined us, so let's pivot again real quick. And I'd like to just turn it over to, I'm gonna say Patty and Kathleen, since they have been I freaking had like a small TIA or something, because I was like, Kathleen, how do you know Patty? And I totally did the email interview or introduction. So it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But Patty's here to talk about the CAPS project. And if you recall from last meeting, they had asked for our sponsorship. So.
Hi. So thank you for having me at this meeting. I know that Maria has already given you some information on this opportunity, but just as a little overview, I'm a commissioner on the City of Bloomington's CAPS Commission, which stands for the Community Advisory on Public Safety. And I'm also a co-worker of Maria's at Middleway House. But the CAPS Commission, we were founded in late 2020, early 2021. With the purpose of looking at public safety and specifically that of marginalized groups and how those groups interact with our public safety departments at the city. So we were specifically tasked with forming a report to address those concerns and specifically looking at alternative public safety methods with the public safety departments at the city. So that's the fire department, the police department, the community resource specialists, all of those. So during the process of that report, our research team met Matthew Solomon, who is the documentarian who created Reimagining Safety, which is the focus of our upcoming event series. So we're putting on this event series to celebrate his work and also contextualize the impact of our alternative public safety reports, which I can also share with you all. I'm not sure if you got the report in the previous email, but it's very related to the content of the documentary, and I would love to share that with you. So we're flying Matthew out for the event series, and it's taking place over the weekend of February 23rd to the 25th. So the 23rd is classroom appearances and some smaller IU events. The 24th is the actual screening with IU Cinema, and the 25th is a hybrid panel with experts. Some of them are going to be people that are actually in the documentary, which will be really cool. So in terms of the specific collaboration with the Women's Commission, I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but our report and public safety in general has major implications for women in the county and in Bloomington and anywhere. And we definitely had findings of women being adversely affected negatively by our public safety departments, especially women that are unhoused or women that are experiencing any kind of violence. So with our partners for this event, we're looking to make this a real community operation. And we're looking right now, especially for assistance in marketing the event series and driving public interest, as well as specifically structuring the panel on the 25th, the Sunday panel with experts. That's something that's going to be a big area where we can use help for our community partners. So also thank you to Kathleen for already joining us through the School of Public Health and joining our planning meeting earlier today. But I would love to just hear what you guys think about the project and also answer any questions that you might have.
So I think our first question was, and thank you for that background and the detail about how about this project. So we don't have any money. So it would be sweat equity that we would be putting in to support you. And we understand, I just heard you say marketing and then structuring the panel. So what ideally would you need or like the Women's Commission to do specifically?
Both of those are really just things that we need a lot of help with. I'm not sure what it's like for your commission, but we're definitely really limited in the communications that we can make being a city commission. So the marketing situation and spreading awareness is something that we're looking to partners to help with, especially. And I think that the biggest project for me that makes sense to pull the Women's Commission in on is the panel and helping structure the panel. I believe we're still looking to fill it as well. I am not the individual commissioner who's working on the participants of that panel, but I know that Nejla, one of our other commissioners, was talking to Kathleen about maybe getting someone involved from School of Public Health. And honestly, a lot of things with the panel are still relatively up in the air. We are having 2 more meetings with our community partners on the structure of the panel and the structure of the rest of the events. So if the Women's Commission did want to come on as a partner or a sponsor, I think that the major contributions would be attending one or both of those upcoming meetings that we'll have in January and giving input as to the content of the panel or working on awareness or marketing.
I mean, that sounds like something that would be great to do as a Women's Commission for sure, to participate in the planning for the event. And that, I think that's thinking about that in terms of like inviting a county group to participate and help out with the city event is a really nice thing to do. So I appreciate that. I also wonder, as an advisory group to the county council and to the county commissioners, if this is something that we can pass along as something to ask them to announce and talk about in their meetings as well. So then county meetings at least have, are doing a little bit of amplifying. I don't know how much that would help but it might. So, something along those lines seems possible.
Well, that's one of the things that I definitely, for me, as I reviewed the year, wish I did more, which was, and some of it's hard because, commissioner meetings are at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday, is any of us can go at any time to a commissioner or a council meeting and do public comment and share with them what we're doing. And, participating in something like this would give us a great opportunity to, to show up to a meeting, even on Zoom, and educate the community on the project and our involvement.
That's actually probably a better way to do it than trying to get them to say something. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so that's when I brought it up last meeting, we just had, this group just had questions and wanted to know more about the program before we said that we would come on board. But am I hearing that is something that we want to do?
I'm for it.
Do we need to vote?
Yes. Does anybody want to call a vote? I mean, anybody can propose. Did you just officially?
Oh, I motion that they were really official. I motion that the Monroe County Women's Commission partner with the CAPS Commission on their documentary project.
I second.
I'm going to do a roll call vote. Maria.
Aye.
Julie.
Aye.
Nikki.
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Molly,
Aye.
Susan, aye. Motion passes.
All
We are
right.
now there to help.
So just let us know, the MoCo WoCo does work now. There were all kinds of testing happened. And, so you can email us at MoCo WoCo. I'm just gonna keep saying it, to let us know when the meetings and when the meetings are and when we're expected to show up, and participate.
Yes, and we actually did set our next partner meeting date this morning. It will be on January 10th at 12 p.m. So as many of you that are able to attend that as possible would be awesome.
Where is it?
Or if you just want to send a representative, whatever you would like to do.
Where will it be?
I think it's over Google. We're asking for the location.
Sorry.
Oh,
The
okay, sorry, I
retreat
think
meeting was
that-
over Google, so calendar invites
Yeah, it'll be Google Meet. Mhm.
will meet.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be attending in my role because School of Public Health is offering sponsorship. So I can also, if other people can't go, kind of have dual roles, but I would appreciate, if more of us can attend, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yay. All right. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this. And Maria has my contact information as well as Kathleen. If anyone has individual questions about the project or the report that you'd like to send me. So I'm definitely open to that as well.
I'm so sorry, Patty.
It said, all right, thanks, Daddy.
Instead of Patty, it said Daddy on our closed
Oh
cap.
no,
So
the closed captions. Well, well, thank you.
I'm so sure. Okay. Thanks, Patty. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, back to our
Back to our regularly scheduled
Just-
program.
Didn't have to call her Daddy.
Okay, so I'm gonna hop back up for time's sake. To go through the commission expectations. We talked about the monthly meetings. You'll be expected to attend all meetings in person. In absence of 2 meetings or more, may require whatever, and your dismissal from the commission. Please remember, you may send a proxy to vote on your behalf.
Can I interject something? Just a point of, I don't know what it would be called, but
Contention.
contention. So language is really important to me and tone. And so I wonder if we might rephrase instead of you will be expected to, if we might say commissioners are expected or commissioners participate in, just to make it a little friendlier.
Yeah.
And okay, thanks.
I also think there needs to be, whether it's in this document or just in another form, some sort of protocol around that. 2 meetings missed, you might be asked to leave because if it's going to be enforced, we can't, there has to be equity. There has to be everyone has to be treated equal with that policy. It can't be sometimes and who is bringing it up, who is, saying, okay, how are we dealing with that? Is it
Up to
up to your discretion of I'm going to talk to this person on the side? Is it a public, kind of, I don't know. It just seems like we need a little bit more procedure. I mean, just for your comfort and so you feel like, okay, this is what we all agreed on. We all agreed that I would come to you if you miss more than twice and ask you, XYZ, and now this is going to happen. So it's not just up to you to kind of
Yeah.
be playing it, winging it every time,
Yeah.
Because that's a difficult place for you to be in. I wouldn't want to be in that position of kind
Yeah.
of being, deciding when to enforce it and, oh, but there, someone's sick. How do we deal with that as a group if it seems like there's extenuating circumstances? And of course, we can't take everything, come up with every scenario, but how in general does that play out?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, sorry.
No, because I was gonna say most boards that I'm on, when it talks about the absence, it don't say just your 2 absences, you're dismissed from something. It's, you have to put like, if it's extenuating circumstance, 2 absence without like follow-up, without, because people missing when you just miss 2 meetings without telling people where you at, then yeah, that's for a dismissal. But if there's a reason for the dismissal, pretty much what you were saying. So I think it needs to be explained.
Well, and I mean, it says, yeah, may result, right? And I mean, it is in our bylaws as that phrase. I mean, like that. I didn't make that up, that's there. So I mean, obviously, we could decide how we want that procedure to be, or the execs to meet would be the ones.
I like that.
Probably.
I think that that's the action from the discussion that we've been having about this. So we need to decide the process, like Kathleen and Tiana were saying, like, so after I'm going to propose after 2 misses for any reason, notice given or not, that there's a meeting with the chair and vice chair just to do a check-in. Are you okay? How's your capacity? How can we help? Type situation. And then and there should be 2 people in that conversation other than the person that's missed.
Like a third party. A third party.
Yeah, 2
outside of
people
the
from the
executive.
mhm.
Okay.
Well, not outside of the executive, but 2 commissioners. Exactly.
Maybe there are other documents we can look at for, these other boards you're on, do they have documents that are kind of lay it out how they're gonna deal with it? So maybe we don't probably have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
So let's maybe take some and then adjust it to what we think is reasonable and fits this group.
Okay, so the action item is then to come up with a process.
Right.
Which
You and I
I think
wanna
that's
start
good.
that and
I think
then
that's good.
Present it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if anybody has any inputs, email it and yeah. I guess the chair, vice chair, secretary.
which-
I don't know. I didn't even know that. I don't,
Yeah,
yeah.
which we have to talk about, secretary.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
recruit will be expected to keep, or whatever, commissioners. What do we say? Commissioners are expected. What did you say that we should say?
Just change it so that it doesn't say you will be expected to.
Say it, read it.
Or
Commissioners are
commissioners keep an eye out in the community.
For future members and educate them.
Or all commissioners keep an eye out. Yeah.
Okay. That's to me pretty cut and dry about recruitment. We should always be thinking about
Mhm.
people we want involved with us. The basics.
I'm sorry, and I have to say this for the record, with the focus on marginalized populations, we need that at the table.
Yeah, we've talked about that last time this is an important thing as we move forward with even filling this seat with Nikki's vacancy, is making sure it's a different voice and for whatever reason.
I think Maria's point perhaps is like, we should
Put that in
say that.
writing?
Yeah, because you're setting something in place for the future, for the next round of commissioners that come. So we want to make sure, I know we're really focused on that, but making sure everybody's always focused on that, right?
Okay.
To put it in writing.
I will change these. The basics, I thought this was important to have in here. We follow an agenda, take minutes. These are the days and times we meet and where. We are subject to open door laws. We generally try to follow Robert's Rules of Order. We must have a quorum. There's an electronic attendance policy. Our meetings are recorded and broadcast on CATS. Those to me are pretty basic things that maybe not everybody knows. And then going on more deeper into the presentation is things about open door laws and Robert.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, let's put links in there to, if people don't know. I mean, I know we can do the Google and everything, but it's
No,
just
it's in there.
nice to provide it. Okay, good.
So after the basics, there is, the ordinance of our Women's Commission, which is pretty standard. And then more uniform provisions, yeah. And then more, these are so long. And then we get into open door law. I wish going forward that I knew more about open door law. We all are slowly learning more about open door law. I did just try to give an overview of what open door law was. But because it is long, I don't know if we want to, like, there's examples, which, I mean, I really did cut out a lot of, to me, stuff, but really just, because I don't want to drown people in too much. But I don't even know if it's more, it was hard for me to come up with a summary of open door. Like if I wanted to, or I could try to put in a summary of what open door is regarding.
This is all information that is online, right?
Yeah.
So it might be that what you can do is for this particular document, just have like the brief beginning part and then link to all of that.
Because this is brief.
Yeah. Right. But the very first slide that talks about open door.
And I'm wondering,
Maybe
yeah,
enough.
Tiana, we don't have no internet. Yeah. I'm wondering if I recall an email from Molly that has some language in it that we probably could use. So, when she helps correct us, which I'm very thankful for, and she's like, no, really, guys, this is how it goes, so I think if we look back at those emails, that might help.
Okay. Do you think the bulk of this should be, which I thought too, maybe the bulk could come out. We could have a page regarding that, like if Molly gave us a summary and then a link to the actual.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
And I'm sorry if I can interject and say something, and not this Molly, you're not asking this Molly, I know, but
Molly Turner King.
I know, but I know that it's lengthy and everything, but I think part of that open door law really does, like, if we can get a summary of how we have to propose things and everything else. I think as a commissioner coming in, I feel like that would have really helped if we can get it in there, not just summarize, but the importance of it.
Yeah. This is the electronic attendance policy, which I thought was really good to know. And this is a summary, which I think is great. And this is the most up-to-date policy that there is, which I don't feel like I was quite sure about. I know I wasn't quite sure about. So you can only do 2 meetings electronically. This is something everybody should be reading, and yeah. And that was, to me, and I approached Molly Turner King because it was, I don't remember when I was writing this, the transition from, I thought it was, we could attend on Zoom, and then it went to no Zoom. That was really what I thought. So even why I wasn't doing roll call votes when people were online, because I didn't think, even though they're here, their votes mattered, right? As long as we had quorum here, because they were just, to me, a member of the community attending online. That was my mentality. But obviously now I know different, and we're doing electronic, and we're doing roll call voting. But this says what, you can't miss, or you can only do 2 consecutive meetings electronic or whatever. So
Again, probably needs a little bit of protocol around enforcement, else it's just gonna be haphazard. I mean, I don't want to get too prickly, but if somebody does, how will it be addressed if somebody is joining more than 2?
executive committee.
So I think
Yeah.
this is easier because it's 2 back to back.
Yeah,
So if you can't actually, it's 2, you have to come in person. So you think somebody's gonna be sick for 3 months?
no, I'm just saying there's no protocol about how to deal with, I'm not saying we need the protocol right now, but I think in general, that would be another area where we just need to lay out, if you've already been, joining over Zoom for 2 months and you join over Zoom the 3rd month, or say that you're going to be over Zoom, how do we deal with that? If it's a policy and we're saying, yeah. And just again, so you aren't like, okay, I'm going to enforce it with this person, but not this person, or this
Yeah.
time it's kind of awkward because they told me this story, what are you supposed to do about it? I think just for your sake and whoever's in your position after, just because I wouldn't quite know what to do. What am I supposed to do if somebody's telling me they can't join in person?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Tiana, your microphone.
Sorry. Sometimes I think it's like the secretary keeps attendance too. So it should be the secretary and the president, or secretary and the vice president having a conversation with that individual. Because normally we do that roll call to see who's coming in person or who's online. And if you notice that Tiana is going to come a 3rd time online, be like, oh no, if you can't make it in person, you need to send a proxy, or this is going to count as an absence towards you. That's how we need to enforce it some kind of way.
We forgot about proxies.
Yeah, you can send a proxy.
Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah.
situation. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you need to send a proxy,
Mm,
because that's where you get into that, because those 2 absences don't count against you. You send a proxy.
right.
So that's the thing. So if it's a 3rd month and you sick, then you probably need, or whatever the situation, sorry, I don't want anybody to be sick, but whatever the situation, you send a proxy or you get here.
Yeah,
And that's what we can all kind of reinforce it in email if we notice it.
for sure. I remember proxy was a thing. Omo proxy for you one time. You did a great job. And I was setting up my proxies just in case. Yeah, I forgot about that. Do we
Says that
have
right
that
here.
in here?
Yes. Yep.
Proxy?
In your monthly meetings,
Or
please
you may
remember
send a proxy.
to vote on your behalf.
Great.
Okay. Open door, electronic, Robert's rules. Trust me, this is a condensed version. And then a thank you.
Yeah.
Good. With those, I will make some adjustments and then we'll talk about it some more.
Yeah.
I don't know. What, I lost my agenda, sorry.
Are you done with orientation review?
Yes.
Okay. So did you have anything that you wanted to say about filling Nikki's seat?
I do, yes. Oh, well, wait. I need to-
Or did we already discuss that with the 2 applications in and you talked
Yes.
to, okay. So then we already did the caps and then you want to do a past year in review. So I'll do that real quick.
Please,
If that's
sorry.
fine with you. So I pulled our work session summary from February 11th, 2023. And by pulled, I mean pulled from the email that Susan sent us. And so we were all there except for Kathleen because she was not on the commission yet. But we said we wanted to establish who we are as a commission. We wanted to adjust the mission statement and read the mission and purpose at every meeting, which we do. And we identified who we represent, and that's also reflected in our mission statement. Getting involved in our community, ambassadors for the women of Monroe County, integrating selves into the community projects and events. I think we did that as to the best of our ability at this point. We were talking about attending the council meetings, the city council meetings, the county council meetings, and the county commission meetings. And that's later in this agenda. I think we did the best that we can. Do I think we can do better? Probably. We did attend the CJRC meetings and then the JFAC meetings. Every one of them, we had representation there. Julie and I attended every one of them.
Just forgot something. I'm listening, sorry.
No, you're fine. And then we got the name tags. That was on there.
You know,
Is anyone wearing their name tag? I forgot.
if I would say, I mean,
I'm gonna put mine on for the last time right now.
when you say it, when listening to it from an outsider, like from me not reading it or like filtering it, I'm proud of us.
Yeah, we did a lot.
Like, 'cause I'm really hard on myself. And so, you know, I'm my own worst critic. And so like, I'm like, we haven't done anything, but when you hear it from someone.
Yeah,
else's
no, I
mouth,
was-
it's like, yes.
You were bringing me down at the beginning of the meeting and I'm like, we've done some stuff. It's
No,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it's okay.
And I mean, see these red check marks, because I'm not, and look at me being the one that's, anyway, I was just, because I'm on paper and not on my computer, I'm like, I'm ready. Okay, so,
Hold on, I'm wearing my name tag, just.
okay, good job, good job.
You have to surrender that today, by the way.
Yeah, because Nikki.
Because you have to put a little sticker over it for the next person.
So we also fight. Oh no, we're nonviolent. So we also talked about passion projects during that time. And we identified subcommittees, potentials, and we actually formed both subcommittees, the Gender Equity and Response Committee and the Girls Coding Camp Committee. And all those have met and have done some work. Last year, we talked about having a town hall meeting discussion to see what the community, what the county wants or needs from us. But other than that, those are our notes. You know, I feel like we did make a name for ourselves through the Gender Equity and Justice Reform subcommittee, to all the meetings that we attended and giving public comment in 99% of those meetings. Maria sending nefarious emails to people. Yeah.
Touring the jail.
Touring the jail. So yeah.
And that we're more than just about tampon. What was it?
We're not gonna talk about it again. I don't feel like.
Well, I'm proud of us now, Julie.
See?
Yeah.
Good job, us.
All right.
Well, and I think it's important to note too that we have established a significant presence, like the county commissioners, the county council,
Oh,
the
they know
Bloomington
us.
City on the status of, like, they all know that we exist and that we have leadership and ideas and regular meetings.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done really well with that part.
Do they know about the name tags?
well, they paid for them.
That's true. So that's what we've accomplished. Was there anything else that we've accomplished that wasn't mentioned, or that we would, or any other celebrations that we want to talk about for 23?
I just think getting that, thinking back on that first year that I was on this commission, like it was very, there was a lot of turnover and a lot of maybe contentious, I don't know. There was a lot of questions about the relationship and the reputation. And I think that we set out to, in some ways, reinvent ourselves. And I think we did that really successfully in a kind of ad hoc way, where we were all kind of new. And so like, I feel really proud about that. Like we do have a mission. We have accomplished, like you said, Maria, all the things that we set out last year, in a really short period of time with a bunch of brand new people. So I think we have a lot to be proud of.
I do think in a lot of that, I think it helped us with so much focus going to the jail, really helped us, with a big one, right? Really pull us focus, really help us find a voice and a platform in the community in a positive way to help us achieve all those goals, right? And so it was good. You know what I realized I missed when I was lamenting or whatever a minute ago was that I misread that first thing about filling Nikki's seat because we did not do officer elections.
Oh,
And we did not talk about filling Nikki's seat like I should have about the secretary role.
okay.
So we should talk, I'm gonna back for a minute if we're okay with the year in review.
Let's
do you want
finish
to-
this out real quick. So what did we think about the speaker series? Do we think it's in our best interest to invite speakers? Do we want to continue that as part of our meetings?
I really liked hearing from speakers. I felt bad that speakers are coming here and we're the only people to listen to what they have to say. I wish we had an audience that was here for the speakers, so they're not just coming and talking to us. I mean, I think that, it's fine that they're coming to talk to us, and I think that still is good, and it's still recorded, I guess, but I always did feel kind of bad that we ended up being kind of a somewhat empty room for speakers at this point. And maybe it won't always be like that, but I did feel some of that. And then I also totally failed at trying to get my speaker, and I was wanting to try and figure out a speaker to invite and have someone come, and I wasn't able to do it myself. So that was like personal minus for me.
I agree with, did you want to go first? I talked a lot.
I appreciated the speakers. I learned a lot from them. That being said, I felt a little bit like the old guys in the boardroom, that like people had to take time out of their schedule to come talk to me. And so and also I wasn't quite clear about if somebody's going to do that, what are the follow-up steps? Like, what is our objective there? Like, definitely to educate ourselves. But for me, I didn't initiate this, so I'm not like putting this on anyone except for myself, really. For us to go to people, I would much like the jail visit was brilliant because it's our commission showing up and seeing the context, showing up, people see you there, you're going to them. I think that would be a more effective way to educate ourselves. But I know it's also like a time commitment thing. Like when are we going to do that? I'm not sure about those details, but even if it was, 2 people agree each month to arrange for, an hour at a community organization or something.
And then what we're doing at these meetings is reporting back about that. And it's not as much of a, we need to, it's not as much of a them coming and trying to present to a group, but not a like an audience of the community kind of thing.
Okay, so I need to say something. So we are women in the community. We are women of agency. We are women of network, right? So for me, I don't feel like they're coming just to talk to me. They're talking to me and my network, right? They're talking to us as a commission to see if we want to form a subcommittee to, we always ask at the end, how can we help? And maybe because of my my 4P job, I promise you, whenever you have a captive audience, no matter how many it is, if it's more than, even if it's one, but if it's more than one, it's great, to have that captive audience and to be able to talk about your mission, talk about your vision, talk about your projects out in the community to new people. So I think maybe my perspective is a little bit different because of my 4P job, but I also, to be honest, I don't like the tone of we're just people here. No, we have agency. We are people, we are worthy, we are, intelligent, we can, help people. You're helping Patty with the thing. So I really would like you guys to look at those statements that you've made about, I feel bad that they're coming to talk to us. You can feel how you want to feel. However, I take, what do I take? Exception, to that presentation and that type of thinking.
I agree. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
thank
the
you.
same thing.
That's, I hadn't considered that,
Mm-hmm.
so it was just, me being, in my personal, and I'm just kind of like,
Sure.
but yeah, that is,
Well, of course, to me, because I feel this when when we started this, the first time I was like, it's just, because I want our impact to be greater, right? But Maria's pointing out that our impact
That's
may
great.
not be visible in this room, but it is pretty great.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel, and not that I know for sure, I don't think anybody that came felt like they were wasting their time.
oh, no, I
mean,
hope
that was
not.
never the
They were
impression
fantastic.
I got, that anyone else,
Yeah.
'cause they don't have to come. I mean, it's optional for them
Yeah.
to come or not come. And so, I feel strongly that people were very grateful to be here and really appreciated being able to be asked by us. So, and again, we have I haven't looked lately. We have no idea who's watching these meetings later because people do watch.
Yeah,
cats.
that's true. They are recorded. Yeah.
They are. I mean, we could look it up to see how many views we have.
Well, and I have a little bit similar in mind, but a little bit different perspective because I also see it as not only do we have a voice and an agency in our community, but also I think having speakers, I mean, I know for my speaker coming, that it's really important that we're amplifying voices that aren't in the room and that, whether people are talking about representing their passions or their programs or their population or community that they represent for themselves. I take that into consideration when we're doing our day-to-day work, right? I think of Beth Clausen, I think of Patty, I think of, Jane Cooper Smith. I think of what they have brought and how that influences and plays into the consideration about decisions we make and what projects we take on. So I think the amplifying voices part is really strong for me personally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, first of all, Julie, don't feel bad because you didn't get a speaker. I didn't feel bad at all because that's why we're a whole board. And sometimes some board members may bring more to it, getting speakers. I just didn't have the capacity to find a speaker this time. And next semester, I probably will. I think in semesters, maybe other people don't. But one thing I was gonna say to Kathleen's point too is I think there's power in bringing people in, because I learned a lot from the speakers that I was able to see, and I watched the recording of the one I missed Jane's. But also I think there's power in us going out in the community doing something. Like if we can go, like even the young lady, I can't remember her name, that came and spoke to us and we invited her to even join the commission and she was a little shy. She really speaks at the jail meetings a lot.
Yeah, that's Misty. Yeah.
Misty.
Yeah.
like going there, even if a couple people
We
went.
went there. We
Okay.
did go there.
Oh, I missed that in the minutes and I probably missed the whole meeting. So, but that's something we can do, like going to the different places as a commission, and being more visible, I think is something too. But I think we're getting to that point because we're rebuilding something that didn't exist.
Yeah, so maybe in summary, it's not either or, like they both, there's value in both. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't saying there isn't a value in the speaker series. I was just kind of getting at what is the objective there and thinking more in, yeah, kind of, but we didn't have action steps, but maybe sometimes it's the exposure, like Nikki was talking about, that you don't, maybe there's not concrete action steps, but then it shows up down the road because you've been exposed. Yeah. So
It's just learning what's going on in the community, what's going on in the county, who's doing what services are offered, yes, like you said, I think it's a yes and. I think we do both. I'm going to just say personally, I don't have the capacity to go a lot of places because I already go a lot of places. And so if we would maybe commit to going like 2 places or something.
or maybe instead of 2 speakers, you get to pick, like I'll do 1 speaker and I'll do 1 site visit.
Mhm.
I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know what that total would make for months, like if we each
Yeah,
did
I
that,
could- I
but
could
maybe we
see
can,
that.
We
yeah.
easily divide it as, I've found that I don't always want a speaker, right? We have a lot of material to cover and then we don't, so it could be, if we wanted to set a schedule to it, we could say every other month we have a speaker, and then every other month, the months that we don't have a speaker, we try to hit, something out of the community, to bring back to that meeting or something a little less, whatever, because I don't always want a speaker. I love the speakers, but we don't always have time for speakers.
Yeah, maybe we just do 1 speaker a quarter. Because that would shorten the meetings, and we're all very scheduled women.
Again, that's like, we could just try something for this year and,
Yeah.
and see what happens and how it works and what the,
And we
what the
can
feeling
decide,
is.
as a group, we can say, oh, well, I know so-and-so, and we can, I don't know when we do that, or we throw it into a Google Doc or something. And then if somebody comes up, what are some sites that we would want to visit that would be informative and intersect with our mission?
Possibly the Stride Center. I know that they do tour, they welcome tours. But that might be a subcommittee interest. I'm not sure if, the entire group would
Can I
be
interject for a
interested in,
second?
yeah.
For time's sake,
Mm,
can we talk about, we have 11 minutes left and we have elections to talk about and goals and strategies for 2024 to handle 11 minutes. So this is something that we can definitely talk about, table till January, as far as I'm concerned. If that's
Sure.
okay.
Sure.
I do want to go back to elections because I totally just went through my head. One of the things that I want to talk about before we decide chair, vice chair, secretary is that one of the thoughts for secretary was that we just take turns taking minutes and it not being one person's job unless someone feels very compelled and okay with taking minutes every meeting.
So in another group that I belong to, there's something that you can enable on Zoom or ChatGPT, or like AI takes notes for you. And so I would like to propose that, and then there would be somebody who would be in charge of formatting the notes and submitting them.
The transcripts comes up when I don't know if that's what you mean, but there is a live transcript going being recorded. I mean, what we say is being recorded.
But this, I'll have to get more information on it, but I mean, it literally said very nicely and picked up when there were action items and stuff.
Well, I'm
like
sure
that.
we could take the transcript, put it into chat GPT, and it would do that. for
Okay,
us.
maybe, yeah. So I think we do that. I think,
I second the motion.
oh,
To automate as much as possible.
I don't know if I motion.
But on the other hand, I also like having a 3-member executive committee. But
Well,
There
and the
must still be a
I mean, the
secretary.
secretary is not just doing minutes. There's more things that the secretary is managing. There's
do you manage? No, just kidding.
there's like posting things to Dropbox and then scheduling the sign up.
Sign up
period,
genius.
all of
Yeah.
that.
What were we gonna say, Tiana?
There's a lot
Were you gonna
of
say
things like
something?
that.
Oh.
The
So-
attendance taking, I mean, I don't think an AI is going to be able to take attendance.
So do we,
We still need a secretary. It's
Yes.
just that part of the role.
Right,
So-
that role might be
Yeah.
something that part of it can be managed differently potentially. But
Yeah, let's,
I
yeah,
agree.
we'll do that. Yeah.
okay. I don't know how elections go. Does anyone want to help me figure that out?
Asked you to be in charge of that.
No, probably did.
Manage.
So do we want to start with chair? Do we want to start with chair? Do we have any nominations for chair?
Are you stepping down?
No, I mean,
And nominate Susan.
I thought we were just doing secretary.
I thought, yeah.
no, because I mean,
Confused.
don't
We need new
elect every time.
I don't know.
Every year,
Do
the
we?
years, oh, so we need to elect for the new year? I thought it was a full, oh.
Were you thinking every year?
I don't know.
Did anybody read we're so new to this.
Well,
We
I
have no
to me, it's
internet.
every year because if 1 year was enough for me to be chair, I want the opportunity to say I'm done being chair.
Right.
It shouldn't be for my term, right? It should.
Oh, it's
be-
each year. Okay.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
what I think, right? I mean, to me, that's.
That makes
seems
sense.
fair.
Yeah, because it's a 2-year
I
commitment. You
forget.
might not. want-
My year is in the academic year, so I was confused. I forgot it's a new year in January. For me, my new year don't start till August.
So.
Sorry.
we're
That's
okay with
fair.
that? Do we have any nominations for chair?
I would nominate, Miss, I can't remember her name right now, Maria. I would nominate Maria for chair.
I would nominate Maria for chair too. I don't think Maria wants to be chair.
I second. Are we allowed to do that?
Do you not want to be in
What? No, I'm happy doing it. It's up to you.
Well, you nominate and then is there a motion? Then we have to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get to just, I think,
You have to
You have to accept
accept
it.
it first or decline, respectfully decline. Respectfully decline if you can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to, do we have to
Mhm.
vote this meeting? Yeah,
We
because it's
should.
December. First.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't even thought about this clearly.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to mention something because my appointment that for the term I'm in is up at the end of December. And I've put in my application for reappointment, but the county council does not actually do that until the January meeting that they have. So I don't actually know for sure that I am continuing on the commission until January, which.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
guessing
she
it's
just sent me a reminder.
Detail, yeah.
Yeah, because it was due by Friday. I just submitted it today.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably gonna be okay, but I guess, I mean, you know, for things like this, considering a board position and not knowing if I'm gonna have a reappointment is a thing, I guess.
Did you
I
do,
would still be okay with the appointment. And then if it didn't happen, then we could.
Yeah,
consider.
and figure it out after that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
Anybody else have anything to say so I can think longer?
Why are you looking at me?
Cause I don't know
What I do? Just kidding.
what?
What how you feel about it?
Yeah.
No. I don't have any, I mean,
I'm going to respectfully decline. I don't have the capacity for it because I'm still in school and I've gotta, thank you for the nomination though.
Yeah, that's what you do. Good job. You have to know your
Yeah, so
capacity.
are you taking notes? Okay.
Yeah, we're taking notes.
No, you're taking notes about me setting some boundaries around my capacity.
Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
am. Thank you. That's what we need to do as women.
Is that in the minutes? Okay.
we have 4 minutes.
So I think seems like Susan, you want to continue on.
I
Or
didn't
not.
say, I mean.
I don't think you want to, do you not want to continue
No,
on?
I'm perfectly okay with this.
Yes, she's,
Well, I tried to nominate you, but
You,
It didn't
you
happen,
act
I
like
don't
you don't
know.
want to be nominated.
No, I mean, I'm okay. No, I like it.
okay, well, just say nominate.
okay, I'm gonna nominate Susan for chair for 2024.
I second.
All right.
Roll call vote.
Did I accept?
Oh, did you
Did you
accept?
I do accept.
We just talked about.
Okay, then we
Molly,
vote.
Molly, do you accept my nominate or my appointment?
No.
Yeah,
You're messing it up.
Yes,
are we all aye?
Now we vote.
I'm voting.
Yeah, we're doing a roll call vote.
Oh, my bad.
Maria,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Nikki,
Aye.
Tiana,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Susan, aye. Motion passes.
So-
Susan is chair for 2024.
All right.
Vice chair,
Vice chair.
I nominate Maria.
I second that.
We make a good team. You keep me in line.
You accept?
I'll accept.
Okay. Roll call vote. Come on.
Molly. For Maria for vice chair.
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Nikki,
Aye.
Tiana,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Susan, I, Maria.
Aye.
So I nominate Julie for secretary.
I second.
I will accept the nomination, but if I do, I don't think I'd be able to do any sort of subcommittee wrangling. I'd be able to participate in subcommittee, but I would not be able to lead subcommittee stuff. Does
Okay.
that?
Yeah, well, you just accept or decline. We will discuss. That's for discussion later.
Can you coach on subcommittees?
I don't know
I'm a parliamentarian around here. You accept or do you decline?
Okay, fine.
But you're true, but I hear you.
Yeah.
We hear you. We're not gonna put you on anything else.
All right.
I can
Nikki,
set my boundaries later, not right now.
Yes.
Just accept or decline.
Nikki,
Yes. Aye.
Julie
Yeah.
said, aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Molly,
Aye.
Susan, I, Maria.
Aye.
We have
So
our new
moved.
executive board for 2024. Yay. What's in your Celsius anyway?
You're probably not gonna sleep tonight, just so you know. Why no? Oh. Yep.
I know, you're here longer than I thought you were gonna be. So what I know meeting's up and I just want to talk about goals and strategy for 2024. Are we tabling this till January?
I move that we potentially use January as another work session to do this work, and figure that
Or
out.
since we did this,
Yeah.
now we can set goals for.
Yeah. And I mean, that we're still ahead of last year, because in last year we
Mhm.
did in February,
Right.
so.
And maybe we'll be lucky and have one of the applications reviewed and have a new commissioner coming on with us too. We'll find
That
out.
would be
but, yeah.
nice.
Okay,
Can
I'm
you
good
try
with
to
that.
push that?
what?
Can you try to push that with Dina or whomever?
Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Are we gonna do the same day? Like, it's gonna be a working meeting, the next meeting in January?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've got a date for that already.
What
right?
date
We're-
is
we're
that?
Continuing with the
Yeah,
schedule.
third Thursday, 5:30.
So it's gonna be January. We had that January 18th.
I just want to thank everyone for rescheduling for today. I really appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
can see my sister in Chicago next week. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I want to, this is Nikki's last meeting, Nikki Williams' last meeting, and she's the, still, the longest reigning member, I don't, longest member of the, of this group. Yeah, you were on before. Oh, okay. Did you guys come on at the same time? Anyway, Nikki, I would like to thank you for your service.
Yes.
And for your grounding and for your big heart and your eye for DEIB and your little social work heart.
Please find us on Zoom at any time or come.
Please have me
Like and
back when my
follow.
schedule allows. Yes, this has been wonderful, and I have so much respect and gratitude for all of you, and am proud of the work that we've done together. So I'll be around. You'll see me.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. 7:01, I'm going to call this meeting to a close. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
See you in 2024.